Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel where today we're going to be attempting Pacifist Challenge for Assassin's Creed 2. Now, if you don't know anything about the Pacifist Challenge, then I would suggest watching my first video, which was on Assassin's Creed 1, and let me tell you right now, that was pure torture. Out of my way, son! Door stuck! Door stuck! I beg you! And this one as well is also pure torture. That's all I'm gonna say. Especially in probably the last sequence, yeah. Like probably the last sequences. Pain, absolute hell unleashed inside the game. Anyway, so now I'm gonna tell you all the rules about what we can do and what we cannot do. Okay. So rule number 1: tutorials will not count as it's just a tutorial. It's probably made by the animals, and also it's kind of forced upon you, so I'm just not going to count that. Rule number 2: the person must die by a sharp object. Weapons like any blade, sword, dagger, throwing knives are all excused from my arsenal, so I cannot use that. So the only thing I can really use is my fists. And also, so as you may know in the previous video, if you watched it of course, I said I don't know if I should count poison because it technically, did we kill them? And after reviewing for a bit, I realised that yeah, we cannot have poison. We cannot have poison. Those are, I thought I would count it if the person was still alive, but sadly, yeah, no, they're dead. They're dead, man. They're dead. Sadly, so yeah. Yeah. So that kind of sucks, but whatever. It is what it is, you know. And that's about it for the rules now. Okay, now I'm going to tell you all the exceptions that we can. That counts. Assassination targets, we will have to kill them. It is mandatory for us to progress through the story, so we need to kill them, and then if we don't, then we just get stuck there, and yeah, that's kind of a problem, you know. So yeah, so we have to kill assassination targets, that's for sure. Also, cutscenes will not count as they are not controlled by the player. But the thing is, with these cutscenes, some of these cutscenes, the ones where you have to kill people, is where you have to do it. So sadly, I will have to include those and count this as kills, sadly. So, but I mean, we'll see if there will be a full section, but that's that done. Okay, as before, there will be a kill counter on the top, indicating how much kills you have, how many people you have to kill in order to beat the game. Anyway, with that out of the way, we can start the run. Once we start the run, we are pivoting from where we are from AC1, where Desmond is staring at Subject 16's blood and it's like silence, whatever. I still don't know what this means. I still don't know what this means. But I mean, I don't think we're ever meant to know what this means. But whatever, let me stop yapping. Anyway, Lucy tells us to get an animus real quick to experience a birth again. Yeah, we're just gonna skip that. So yeah, we head to his born, we go out the animals, and then Lucy just fucking annihilates 2 dudes. Once we beat them up, we're into elevator, so we're in the main room, and Lucy tells us, "Oh, just be quiet, don't make any noise." So as a stealthy assassin I am, I just ran straight in the middle, and somehow did not get caught. That's why I call it pure skill right there. We go up the elevator, down to the garage, and we fight some more dudes. And then once that was done, we went into the trunk and just had like a few bumps on the way, but other than that, it was alright. Then once we made it to the warehouse, we met everyone.
Oh, what are you, a tiny child?
And then we went back to the Animus, and oh my days, Florence was amazing to see again. It was fucking amazing to see again. Yeah, we headed to Florence, 1476, and bro, we see all these Florentine men just running down into the bridge. Yeah, the bridge, and then the main fucking character appears. Ezio Auditore da Firenze.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT!
Oh my god, this scene was something. But yeah, once Ezio shows up, then Vieri just shows up and saying how much of a little bitch we are. So you know how we responded? By literally beating up all of his men, and our brother Federico shows up and tells us they're balls. And so we build up a few more of Vieri's men. Do you know how he responded? He just fucking runs away.
Fall back! Fall back!
And then our first memory finishes. crazy how that's the first memory, just trained to a fight. Anyway, now what we have to do is now go to the doctor to fix our face. We do some bit of parkour, some intense parkour right there. And so then, smack about, so I just pull Glock on him. Yeah, once we got patched up, Federico challenges to a race. Which, I mean, I completely destroyed him in. First to no challenge, I took every single shortcut. I'm legit going at AC2 parkour. I'm going at AC like formula. I'm good at that. I'm just saying, I'm good at that. And then the title card appears.
A good life we lead, brother.
At best, may it never change.
And may it never change us.
Like, oh my god. This time, this that whole entire theme is just insane. What he decides to do is visit Christina for a bit. He's just visit Christina for a bit. Just for like 2 minutes. Anyway, we jump into the haystack, and then this I find this so funny. Because I don't know why, Vieri just, Vieri and his men, they just walk up to the haystack, look at it for like 3 seconds, and then just start to move on. they thought that they exactly knew where he was, but then all of a sudden he just got amnesia or something, and they just ran away. Anyway, visit Christina for a bit. We accidentally get caught doing the deed in front of our father, so his response is to literally send guards after us. I mean, to be fair, I don't blame him. This is literally what, Renaissance Italy, so yeah, like harvest time back then, just saying. So we run away from the guards again. And then, oh Jesus, we see Giovanni! My main G, bro. Like, I really wish we got to see more. Really wish. I mean, I know there's a film about him. What's it about it? I might have to watch that. I mean, it was really short. Anyway, okay, I'm just we see Giovanni, and then he's like really disappointed on us. But then the next second, he's just happy. He's happy again. Yay! He gives us a task where we have to deliver a letter to Lorenzo de Medici. But yeah, so we go to Lorenzo's house, and apparently he's not there. We have to wait another day. So I just said, fuck it, I'll just wait till next day. Still, he wasn't there. So once we tell our father that Lorenzo's not here, we see Roberto Alberti, which I believe is good. I mean, come on now, he seems like a good guy right now. Come on now, I don't think he would do like anything mischievous, you know, but whatever. Then we have to do 3 tasks, which is get feathers.
Let me tell you something, man.
These feathers brought back some bad memories, very bad memories. Anyway, talk to Maria and meet Leonardo da Vinci! The main wingman right here. Leonardo's and Ezio's chemistry is so fucking good. I love them both. I honestly love them both. And we also have Claudia, where apparently, Duccio. So we visit Duccio for a bit, and this happened.
Ma che te piglia? You insult my sister, parading around with this puttana.
Maybe your sister shouldn't be so stingy with her virtue.
The fuck you say to me?
So we have to be Duccio for cheating our sister. So as the man we are, we beat him up. We give him a major concussion, but that's about it. Then we go out to Giovanni, do 3 errands, blah blah blah. And then once we return to Giovanni, luckily I still have my reflexes and realized I had to quit time then. And so Maiden just tried to attack me, but then as a pro gamer I am, I just literally ducked under it. And then apparently my father and brothers were kidnapped. So yeah, that's not good at all, is it? So now I have to go to the prison to find out what's going on. Like, why are my father's brothers in prison? So once I head there, he tells me that. So then I went into the haystack, I did a bit safe, and I went to talk. Just as I was staring at the wall for about 15 seconds.
This is chaos. Fight work, no reaction.
Down on some gangster shit. I managed to find the hidden door, the chest, and oh my lord, this is the most drippiest of drip I've ever seen. Holy Jesus, I'm about to pull all the ladies with this one. God, I'm putting that shit on right now. There's also I don't really care about that. And there was also this very cool van brace, but sadly broken. Oh, darn. So yeah, so now my father and brothers died right in front of me. And it was quite a sad sight to see. It certainly was.
Father!
But you know what? I don't care. I don't care if they're dead. I want to drip. on me right now. This is like I give 2 fucks now. But I'm the most drippiest person on the planet right now. Anyway, after my father and brother die, then the guards are trying to kill me, but I just ran away as fast as possible. And we have finished sequence 1. Just as we head into sequence 2, we are told to go to Annetta's house, which I had no clue what I meant at first. But when I got there, holy balonies! I had some satisfaction here, like there was big old we meet Paula now, and she shows us how to blend into the crowd and also how to pickpocket, which is always nice and dandy. Anyway, once we know how to blend in, we now have to go to Leonardo da Vinci. And so he tells us to hand over the codex page, and so we do, and just after a short nap, we finally get the hidden blade, which hopefully we are never going to use. Sadly. Oh god, I hate this challenge. Anyway, some guard comes up door, telling to open the door, which we refuse at first, but then Ubisoft is making a Black Flag sequel. And oh hell yeah, we need to open the door right now. And sadly we got tricked. As the man beats Leonardo to death, I have to kill him. Yep, I have to kill him. Now I mean, I tried everything. I tried to see if there was maybe a broom anywhere, which I could maybe stab him with. But knock him out with. I mean, I'd try to find some groups, maybe they could, like, kill them for me. And sadly, there's nothing. I'm nothing. Absolutely nothing. And yeah, sadly, the dude has to die. He had to die. well, I guess that's 1 kill to the counter. Once after we sadly have to kill the dude, we now bring him into the owner's workshop where I don't even want to know what he does. So I'm never going to question it. Now, we head back to Paula to show our sick-ass hidden blade, and she was not impressed at all. What we have to do now is now kill Uberto Alberti. So just as we arrive to the party, or whatever it's called, we see Lorenzo talking to Uberto about OnlyFans or whatever. So, what I decided to do is sneak into the party, or whatever this is called, and decide to stab the man once and for all.
Trust you're enjoying yourselves.
Indeed, a nice distraction from that nasty business with the Auditore family.
And to think I once thought of Giovanni as a brother. You!
And bid him off this world. And so, I go on a tantrum about how the Patsies are straight worthless.
Your life is nothing. You serve 0 purpose.
Now I have to escape from the city guards and return back to Paula to tell her of the news. As she congratulated me for my deed, she now tells us to take down some posters, kill Harold, which obviously we cannot do that. We cannot do that at all. We have to either take down posters, bribe Harold, or kill officials, which is obviously something we cannot do. So it only remains us with 2 options. And one of those options is where you have to pay someone to not tell about you. So that these are another option. So there's only one option I can do, which is take down posters. And so, once we do that, we head back to Poldo to tell them about our
notoriety.
So now all we have to do is just leave the city with my sister and mother, which is a pretty easy task. As we literally distract the guards from a sucking in big ass. I mean, we run past the guards into the wilderness, I guess you could say. And now we head to Monteriggioni as sequence 2 is now finished. Once we start up sequence 3, we are putting into Monteriggioni in 1476. Now, just as we take a couple steps forward, we get ambushed by Vieri de Pazzi once again.
This is fucking bullshit.
How could you leave a Firenze without saying it's up?
Oh my fucking god, this guy can not just piss off, can he? Oh well, we fight Vieri's men again. I beat them up, of course, and Vieri once again runs away. Once again. Anyway, during the fight, we meet our uncle, Mario.
Take the sword, Ezio.
Do I know you from somewhere?
Don't you recognize me? It's a me, Mario!
Apparently he heard what happened in Firenze and showed me support, but I still didn't care, as I'm still the trippiest person alive on this planet. Anyway, once we have a little introduction, we head to the villa. And oh my days, it was good to see this place again. So much. Look at this place, aesthetics and buildings. I mean, right now it may seem like a dump, but when you renovate it, it's just pfft. We head towards the villa. So Uncle Mario tells us that he can train us. I obviously accepted as I want the skills. So now we have to train with Mario's men, and I absolutely destroyed every single one of them. Not even got hit once. Once after that, and Mario got bit angry at us for not wanting to help him. So I asked the man, where did my Uncle Mario go? And so went to Tuscany, find Uncle Mario to finally kill Fieri. Oh, Fieri's about to get us. Mario is saying about, well, we should like sneak and blah blah blah, whatever. I don't really care about it. So I find an entrance and it's just and run past blatantly through some archers and then beat him up. And also he decided to give me some throwing knives, which we are never gonna use. But once we open the gate and there were Mario's men in, big moment. We get to kill Vieri, finally. And so I tried to assassinate Vieri from the back, but for some reason I got spotted. I don't know how, but I did. Yeah, whatever. I killed Vieri, and oh my days, it was so satisfying. But once we kill Vieri, we return back to Monteriggioni, where we're celebrating our victory against Vieri and his men, and Uncle Mario wants us to visit his office, so he can tell us about these like codex pages or whatever. So once he tells me to reach on top of the point of the villa, synchronize a bit, do leap of faith, and then collect the 4 codex pages around Monteriggioni. And once we collect all 4, the sequence was now finished. Just as we start up sequence 4, we head back to the villa to see Claudia being enslaved apparently. Anyway, once she stops having a tantrum, we then head to this architect who's going to help us rebuild Monteriggioni. Now, I really love this. I really love this like mechanic. I love this so much. Where you can like rebuild Monteriggioni and see it like change over time every time you renovate a certain amount. Like, I just love that so much. Yeah, anyway, after I do some renovating, we meet Uncle Mario, and then he just shows us a hidden bookcase which leads towards a sanctuary for the many other assassins, including, I would say, yeah, the man. God, please don't remember about the AC one. Uncle Mario tells us about his sacred armor, and I was like, holy moly, I want to get that. Anyway, we now head towards Florence in 1478, where we return back to Leonardo with another codex page. And this time, it wasn't like no blade, nothing, no mechanism, anything. It was just a bunch of sketches of how to assassinate people, which sadly we're never gonna use. Yay! Once we finish that, we return back to Leonardo, where he tells us about the fox.
Volpe. The fox.
Which is referring to the Volpe, who is going to be very important later on, and for some reason just forbidden to speak about him. Just as we are searching for a Volpe, some random fuck just comes out of nowhere and just steals my shit. With my fast reflexes, I managed to grab the dude before he can even take one step, and somehow I have teleportation abilities. We were just on the ground a second ago, and now we're on the rooftop. Ezio is a magician confirmed. After our little teleportation bit, La Volpe finally introduces himself to us, where he challenges us to a race. With my epic parkour skill ability, I managed to swoop him. And just as we get to the point, we somehow are out of breath. That makes no sense. That's just literally the first time I've seen Ezio out of breath. I mean, you could literally run countless miles, and this man would not tire. Anyway, the Volpe shows us to is like this secret tomb that we can access. And so, like the curious man I am, I enter the tomb to find out what's going on. We have to do some parkour segments, put in some others, blah blah blah, whatever. And once we open the door to the other like room or whatever, we have a chase segment where you have to chase a Theme Templar. And so just as I wanted to stab him so badly, then I thought, what would have become of me if I did? And the Templar decided to snitch on me. So you know what? Snitch gets stitches. And so I just beat all of them, every single one of them up. After we beat them up, we now can eavesdrop on the Templar meeting that was going on. Just some weapons. I didn't really pay attention that much. I'm sure it wasn't important anyway. 2 words in fact. Only bands.
Nanomachine sons! Making the mother of all omelets here, Jack. Can't spread over every egg.
It can't be happening again. Surely not. And so after I finished the eavesdrop, I managed to find this sarcophagus with a seal inside, which was actually one of the seals to get me the armor of Altair. Once we find the exit, as we crawl through a sewer, and meet up back with La Volpe, telling him about what is going on. The second I mentioned OnlyFans to him, he legit just disappeared. I'm not even joking. He legit just disappeared. I don't know what's going on. Now we have to travel to somewhere in Florence and find Francesco de Pazzi. Where apparently the plan is to kill the Medici, and for some reason I allowed it to happen. Well, they only killed one of them, so the other one was slowly dying and should have been dead in seconds, but I guess plot armor exists. Unless maybe he was stabbed in the back or something, I don't know. Yeah, Lorenzo was stabbed in his chest, and it's still not managed to with the fire. That's some pure mentality right there. But yeah, we're coming late for some reason. We don't just come in straight away, we're coming late to defeat the rest of the guards, and this section was just pure heart attack, because like, by the time I actually managed to kill them all, Lorenzo was so close to death. I did not want to beat up those guys again. But yeah, with Lorenzo with just one health bar, hopefully there will be no more sequences of that. Hopefully there won't be. Please, I tell you, I beg of you, no any more sequences. Please, I'm begging of you, no more. Oh my fucking. My guy's on one health. How am I going to do this? Tell me how I'm going to do this? I'll show you how you do this. I'm going to show by stabbing someone and then rage quitting. After a couple hours of peace and quiet, I returned back to this torture. Luckily, I didn't have to repeat the first segment, so Lorenzo was at full health by the time we went back to his palazzo. But luckily, Lorenzo was back at full health, and the guys, they stood no chance now. I need to learn, never use swords ever again. Never again. Never. We reached his manor and immediately take him to his aid. He thanks us for saving his life, even though I'm bled out by now and be dead, but whatever. I'm not going to question video game logic. Then he tells us to kill the Patsies. Pleasure to do. And so, we climb up the prison, which originally had my father brothers in. Then after I just no stealth involved, just literally run past the guards, hoping for the best. Which surprisingly worked. When I triggered the cutscene, for some reason the guards just disappear. Once again, I'm not going to question video game logic. Francesco somehow does a leap of faith. I don't know how he managed to do it, but he does. And so, we do leap of faith, and then chase him down, and then murder him completely. Also, I just realised that Francesco De Pazzi has the same voice actor as Cesare. Quite nice touch. And then, yeah, this happens.
Francesco?
With that said, Sequence 4 is now finished, and now we move on to the next sequence. As we start up Sequence 5, we are put in Florence, 1478. Lorenzo staring into the distance, probably contemplating his life. And so we approach him, he tells us some near-death experience, also tells us some more names for us to, kill. And also, he gives us another coke spread, which is always not nice and dandy. After we have a little chat with Lorenzo, we now head to Leonardo for him to decipher this codex page, and the codex page was to deliver poison, which obviously I'm never going to use. After we have a little chat with Leonardo, we now go back to Momentary Journey to tell Uncle Mario of what's going on. And so we tell him we're after Jacopo de Pazzi. And so we tell him that he has a bunch of co-conspirators all the way in Tuscany, and we have to kill them all so we can find Jacopo. Now, I am counting these. If they do not have this memory corridor, then I will count it as a kill. But if they do, I won't count it. So all of these assassination targets should be fine and dandy. But first, before we can even head to Tuscany, we first have to do some training with Uncle Mario. And once again, I've smoked him so hard I could barely even walk. Once we're done with smoking Mario, we now head to Tuscany to find all of the co-conspirators. I mean, I would talk about what happened with the co-conspirators, but the thing is, I lost most of the footage because I ran out of space on my PC. So yeah, we're just gonna say we killed them all and we found out where Jacopo is. So anyway, we now have to tell Jacopo. Anyway, I had to tell Jacopo to find the secret Templar meeting. Just as I was telling Jacopo, I decided to jump off the building and try to hide in a haystack, which somehow I managed to successfully do it undetected. But yeah, one of the guys saw me, so now they're gonna check the haystack. But luckily, with quick reflexes, I saw there was a few thieves over there, and so I hired them and made them distract the guard. That means another guard told the thieves to lure them away. He managed to get me out. When I managed to get back in, another guard came, and so I made a quick run for it, and somehow managed to not get detected. That's some pure assassin skills. Now, just as we had to eavesdrop on the meeting, you see Jacobo literally pleading for his life, as we literally dominated his whole entire bloodline, and let's just say, Rodrigo was not happy at all. And so, Rodrigo had enough of the Patsies, as he literally decided to stab Jacopo.
I do.
And then, stabbed him again, in the neck. And somehow, he is still alive. How? I have no clue. Anyway, we get caught. Somehow Rodrigo saw us. He knew that we were going to be there. I mean, to be fair, he's a master manipulator, so Don't really expect much from him. Rodrigo caught us as we were trying to eavesdrop, and, well, we did get an option. We did get an option in the cutscene to kill, but thankfully it wasn't forced. And so we just pushed off the two dudes by a bit until I realised, oh, I can just stab Jacobot. So I stabbed Jacobot in the neck again, which he should have been dead already, but whatever. And so we say some kind words to him, and then the sequence ends as we literally eradicated the Patsy bloodline. As we start up sequence 6, we have put in Florence 1480, where we see Lorenzo talking to someone, and we approach him, of course. And he gives us the Medici cape, which basically means that we can do whatever the fuck we want without any notoriety. Right, there, finally, I said it. But after we get this stylish cape, we now head to Leonardo, which... Excuse me? He's not there? Why is he not there? Gosh, stop. Okay, apparently Leonardo is heading to Venice right now and is up in the mountains. So now what we have to do is head to the mountains to find Leonardo. And luckily, he was just right in front of us. As his wagon is broken and he needs help of us, of course. As the good friend we are, we help him out, give him a drive towards Venice. But sadly, the Borgia find us and want to murder us again. And so now, this section might be questionable for the run, as you may be saying, I maybe actually kill that dude. Now, I might have to agree with you there, but technically, it's the gravity. Okay, I'm not going to count these as, well, for now I'm not going to count them, because I don't know if I should count them or not. But if you think I should count these, then please tell me in the comments, because I actually don't know if I should count these or not. But anyway, once we get past the first segment, then they decide to shoot the bridge on fire. And so we somehow managed to get past, and so we continue to carry on, we continue knocking people off our wagon. And eventually, we make it into the end of the mountains where we have to beat off some guards. Once we go on the rampage and beat off the guards, we now head to Romagana 40, where we meet back with Leonardo at a ship that we are invited to, apparently. Now, just as I was about to murder the man, there was a woman crying out for help, as she luckily saved my run, so thank God for her. But apparently, the woman that we saved is apparently Catalina Sforza, who is the Queen of Folly, I'm pretty sure, who says some very nasty stuff to the captain, and so he lets me on, and we managed to go to Venice, Leonardo, and that concludes sequence 6. Just as we start sequence 7, we enter a cutscene between Leonardo and Ezio to talk about Catalina as such an amazing woman. Meanwhile, Catalina is actually having a tantrum at the bloke who was just trying to do his job.
You should kill yourself.
Anyway, just before we make it to Venice, we first get out Animus, because obviously pronoun exposure with Animus has some side effects.
Awesome.
And so we exit Animus, and so now that at Animus, now we can test out our skills, which once again, that's the footage for. Anyway, just as we start doing the parkour course, we start to see hallucinations from the past, through Renaissance Italy, the medieval times, and we go back to Altair, even though we're not on Animus. So it's some freaky shit. But yeah, and so there was this woman who we were chasing. We at first thought it was a target, but then later on it appeared it was actually Maria. If you didn't remember from Assassin's Creed 1, she was one of the targets. Well, she wasn't one of the targets. She was actually a decoy target, just for Roberto to escape a bit. And so we do deed with Maria, and we just do Leap of Faith, and then we do some deja vu shit. Fucking going back to Maria, if you know what I mean, which wake up back in the modern day. So we head to Venice, and before we do anything, first I have to get some drip out the way. Thoughts? Anyway, once we drip ourselves out, we now head back to Leonardo to get a tour around Venice and what is going on. And this tour, it was very eventful, that's for sure. At first, we see some guy's stand just get wrecked up just because he didn't pay his taxes. And also, we get robbed by a bitch, none other than Rosa Parks. And so she looks me in the eye and then pisses off. Then later, we see the poor man who just wanted to have an appeal against his business, and so instead gets kidnapped and then tortured and then probably beat to death by those standards. And so later on, we try to find a way to infiltrate the Palazzo so we can assassinate our next target. But then out of nowhere, the bitch from before comes in and runs in. She somehow managed to jump the gap that we couldn't be able to. And so she gets shot in the leg, and then they would try to help her out, and then she says this.
What are you doing? Hurry up! Quickly, they're getting closer. Hurry up!
Like, oh my god, I'm literally walking faster than you. What the? Anyway, and then later on, she just drops to the ground, just dives on the floor like a crybaby, and then just starts like whimpering about. So, you know what? I had enough. I've had my own tour around Venice, been parkouring for like the past 10 minutes before I actually eventually thought that, oh shit, the game's making me help her. And so I take her to a boat, and we have to deal with some guards. Now, this may be controversial because I am pushing them into the water, which they did not come out of at all. So, I mean, technically...
Shut your fucking mouth!
But I was just trying to say...
Shut the fuck up, you cunt!
Alright, do you know what? Whatever. But yeah, we head to the thieves' hideout, drag her sorry ass through the streets again, and now she still is acting like a bitch. Whenever they told me to do something, I just tried to attempt to murder her, but sadly, they stopped me from doing it, and so she was alive and well, just with a broken leg. Anyway, enough of Rosa. Now we're on to Antonio, who is actually a G in this game. He's a real G. And so he told me about this, the failure of him and the thieves, about trying to assassinate the guy who I forgot the name of. And so he tells us that there's traitors in the clan, so that means that we have to hunt them down and beat them up. And so that's exactly what I do. We're back to Rosa, where she teaches us how to do the leap grab, which is really fucking simple, to be fair to you. And so we learn to do that, we climb a tower, we synchronize the point, blah blah blah. Then we finish her memory, and hopefully that's the last we'll see of her. And so now what we have to do, with all of the tasks we have done to restore us to our former strength, we now have to kill a bunch, beat them up. And he did say quietly, but, you gotta do what you gotta do. And so now what we have to do is assassinate the guy who I forgot his name of. And that finishes off Sequence 7. Just as we start Sequence 8, we are put into a tailoring mission. Oh god. So we see Silvio Barbarago and also Carlo Grimaldi talk about where Emilio is. If one even knew. And so we tell them for a bit until we get another cutscene where we see another Templar who's going to be the new Doge. And they just found out that we killed Emilio. And so now we tell them even more. Another cutscene appears where this time we see Rodrigo Borgia talking to the Templars about something. I just can't get my eye over. And once again, we tell them, and so we lost sight of them, somehow, and now that finally ends the tailoring mission. Oh my god, I see now why people hate the tailoring missions so much. Anyway, so just as I wanted to go see Antonio, I did a belly flop into the wall, and we see, once again, bitch from before. So as she approached me, she tried to seduce me, and as the alpha male I asked for Antonio instead. And so Antonio comes in, and we tell him the news about how the Babaligos are gonna murder the Doge. And so, Antonio tells us it's not going to be so easy to just go up to the guy and assassinate them. And he's in the most well-fortified palace in the city, and so we had to find a new way to get in there. And so now, me and Antonio head to Palazzo to figure out how we're going to get in there. As we try to find a way in, we have no luck, and sadly, there are no options. And so with no luck, we cannot find a single entrance into the Palazzo. But, luckily, with my 300 IQ brain, I managed to figure something out.
Yes. Birds.
Where are you going now?
So if you do not remember before, Leonardo said that he found a contraption to make a human fly. And so, that means we have to head to Leonardo for him to give us the flying machine. So as we enter Leonardo's workshop, he says that it's apparently too dangerous to do. So as the psychotic person I am, I went with it. And so we tested it out, and this happened.
You flew, Ezio! You flew! See, but not very far.
And so Leonardo has a tantrum, and then figures out a way for us to fly even further.
Eureka!
And so now what we have to do is beat up a bunch of couple guards, so we won't say there's no problem with setting up fires. And so once we do that, and so now we can finally use the flying machine to get inside the palazzo and stop the dojo being killed. And so as that one guard said,
Ma cos'è? Shoot! Shoot the flying demon!
We're now the flying demon going through Venice. And so this did take a couple tries. try 100 dozen because for some reason the controls on PC are absolutely whack. Eventually, I did make it into the palazzo, and sadly, Dojo was already dead by the time I got there, so all of that I did was for nothing. Great! And so now, for some reason, the Dojo is blaming us for his death, even though it was Grimaldi. Appreciate Dojo, yeah, make the whole entire of the city hate us. Really appreciate it. And so now we have to assassinate Carlo Grimaldi before he escapes, and then escape ourselves. And then that should be the end of Sequence 8. As we start Sequence 9, we head towards Leonardo's workshop where we are now the most wanted man in Venice. And that's because people think that we killed the Doge, even though it was Carlo Grimaldi. Really appreciate it, Doge. Really appreciate it. And so now we need a bit of a disguise to hide us from the guards and, you know, just not getting in fights 24/7. And well, do you know how we disguise? By putting a fucking mask on and also changing my cape. So did this work back then? Did this seriously work? I mean, the man still got the same clothes when he assassinated the Doge, so people should know, shouldn't they? I don't think a mask and a cape change is gonna fool people. But not, whatever. And also, this cape is the most sickest cape ever. And yet, we can only use it once. And just in the sequence as well, just in the sequence. Man, why Ubisoft this? Anyway, we go towards a church house. Yeah, church house, you could say. Where we meet another side character, which is Teodora. Now, Teodora is she is a... Fuck, what's that called? So she is apparently a courtesan, at the same time trying to be a Catholic. Yeah, not gonna question it. Well, so yeah, we also see Antonio about being the Rizzler he is. And then a random thief just comes out of nowhere and just slaughters a courtesan. Like, oh my god, who would do that? And so, Sister Teodora and Antonio make me go after the thief, and well, this is my motto. In order to save people, we must sacrifice people. So that means, in order to not kill this guy, I must sacrifice the courtesans, which I didn't really mind, because, so I let him sacrifice until I could tackle him, and then eventually beat him down. So now we return to the safe house, yeah, I guess you could say. We return back to the safe house where we see poor courtesans mourning over their dead sister. Can I enjoy the scenes? I mean, so we tell Antonio what's going on and what I can do to get our next targets. And Sister Teodora mentions a carnival, which the Doge has to be present. And so let me tell you this is probably one of my favourite sequences, purely because of the carnival theme. I really love this sequence so much. And so now we head over to the carnival section, where we see Dante Moro, another Templar scum, who is presenting the golden mask, which this mask is going to allow us and infiltrate the party, so then Leia can kill our target. And so one of our first challenges is just to get ribbons from the ladies. This is how it went out. Once we collect all the ribbons, our next task is, oh shit, let's capture the flag. Oh god. I mean, this was actually alright, as if someone managed to do it first try each time. Anyway, our next challenge was a race, which I absolutely smoked it in, first try and everything. Definitely did not do it 5 times because of that serious fucking movement. Anyway, our last challenge is now just a fist fight, which, I'm an expert of these. I've been fist fighting for the past decade, and so I do smoke them, but sadly, our host gets bribed by this Templar scum, and so they bring in weapons, which I still smoke them in. Now, as we won fair and square, we don't get the golden mask. Don't do it. The fuck you do? Yeah, what do you do? Do you even know? Do you even participate? That cheating scumbag. I'm gonna get you one day, Dante. I'm gonna get you one day. And so now, we are fucked, because now we have no way, unless we steal the mask from Dante. So that's exactly what we do. We head up to where Dante is, we steal the mask from him, and then we enter the party. Just as we enter, we see our sister Teodora, who has set up a bunch of girls for us to blend in with, which is decent. And also, Dante just comes in just as we come in. So now we have to be anonymous for 60 seconds. And let me tell you, this was stressful. I did not know any of their patterns. Like, I don't know where they would walk through. Or I accidentally just murdered someone by accident. Anyway, once we pass the 60 seconds, our target arrives. And all we have to do is just shoot him. So we shoot the bastardo, and then we just swim away into the distance and escape. And we finish off the sequence with some sweet, succulent... Anyway, sequence 9 is now finished. On to the next sequence. We start up sequence 10, back in Venice, where a random thief appears and tells us that Sir Antonio needs to speak with us. And so, as the gentleman I am, I'll go visit Antonio. So once we visit Antonio, we see the new dojo of Venezia. And so now, Silvio Barbarigo is now apparently held up in their arsenal. And now what we have to do is find Bartolomeo, and he's going to help us take down the army that's inside their arsenal. But just as we try to find Bartolomeo, we see one of his mercenaries downed and pinned to the ground. And so, in his dying breath, he tells us where Bartolomeo was taken, and so we head there. And once we find where Bartolomeo is, he's apparently captured in a cage, and he starts seeing some racial slurs towards the guards. And so now, we free him, and we return back to his home, where it was trashed all over the place. And at first, I thought he was talking about his wife or something, but apparently it was just a sword. As I said, he tells us of his plan of just conquering the city. Now all we have to do is just beat up a couple of guards, and then let Bartolomeo's men take their places. Once we beat up all the men, we go back to Bartolomeo to tell him the news, and now he gives us a flare, and we have to shoot on the highest peak of... Wrong game, sorry. And so we fire the highest vantage point and fire the flare from there. And then all of Bartolomeo's men attack the guards, so then they can keep them distracted from coming to the arsenal. And we see Dante Moro and Bartolomeo throwing hands at each other, and so we decide to help him out. And so just as we arrive, Dante literally runs away like little bitch he is, and so we chase after him into the arsenal, where we see Silvio Barbarigo, who started in Salt on Family Legacy, and so you know what? I had enough of it. I head on to Silvio and Dante Moro. Just as they fell and trying to get on the boat, I stabbed both of them straight in the face. Bam boom. Easy. Bamboo, done deal. Just as I try to interrogate for the information, Silvio, as the coward he is, he says absolutely nothing. Meanwhile, Dante has told us of a location in Cyprus for some reason, which we are never going to go. And so, once they die, we celebrate, and that is the end of Sequence 10. Just as we start Sequence 11, we're put in Venezia where... Oh my god, why the fuck are you here? So Rosa appears. Yay. And so she tries to smooth me up, but luckily, my friend Leonardo comes in and rescues me from this devil witch.
Come over here and kiss me on my hot mouth.
And so, he tells me about the codex pages, and then Leonardo's just speaking to me in Italian for some reason. And so, he tells me some more gibberish, and all of a sudden, Ezio just has a realism check. And then, once we had a little chat with Leonardo, we then head towards the Arsenal district to find the boat on which Silvio and Dante were meant to go on. And so we head there, and for some reason, Uncle Mario was there. It was a bit strange, ain't it? But whatever. And so we tell the courier. Now this part, I had to kill him. I mean, there was no other way I could do it. There was no mercenaries around, so I couldn't just kill him by mercenaries. And also, anything else I did would not work, because first of all, if I try to attack him straight on with my fist, that would not work, because if you get detected, you desynchronize. And so, the only choice I had left to do was, to assassinate the dude. Sadly, another one to kill counter. So once we drop the dead guard, we take his uniform, even though it's completely different, but whatever. And so now we follow the guard to Spaniard. And so once we arrive, why? Fucking why? Another cutscene kill? Are you serious? So, we kill another dude! In a cutscene, we reveal ourselves to the Spaniard. So now, we fight the Spaniard, and in the middle of the fight, Uncle Mario appears just out of nowhere. What's he doing in Venezia, first of all? A bit strange, but whatever. And so, once we beat Rodrigo, he kicks us and then runs away, and then all of a sudden Paolo appears, then Sister Teodora, and then, holy shit, how many more are there? Fucking hell. It's every side character in this game, Jesus. And so they're all, and then all of a sudden this random bloke just appears out of nowhere. Think that he's him. And apparently, his name is Niccolo Machiavelli. So he's telling me that I've been like the prophet at all time. I have no clue what he's talking about. So we head to a rooftop to become a full official assassin, which, I mean, it sounds cool, so I might as well join. So I become an assassin, we all do our leap of faiths, and officially joined the Assassin Brotherhood. As we start Sequence 12, we are put into Leonardo's workshop, where we are staring at the Apple of Eden and questioning what's its purpose. And so we touch it, and out of nowhere, just have so much hentai that you can even comprehend our eyes. And so I touch it again, and then it all stops. So we head to Forlì to protect the Apple of Eden. And so we're with Catalina and Niccolo Machiavelli. As soon as we walk down a couple steps, a whole entire group of people just start running away. I'm like, what's going on here? And it was the Orsi brothers. They made me questioning, who are the Orsi brothers? I have no fuck. And so we head towards the gates, but sadly, they're locked. So that means that Catalina is going to have to provide a distraction while we run back and go through the secret entrance. And so we open the gates, and Catalina and Niccolo Machiavelli in. After we beat up some guards, we reach the citadel, where we are once again attacked and need to beat up some more of the guards. Once we finish our beating spree, the Orsi brothers finally show up, and finally, one of them sounds just like Cesare and Francesco. A nice cool deal. And so apparently they will have Catalina's children hostage, which, I mean, I was kind of forced to do this. I didn't really want to do this, but after I saved both our children, we kill one of the Orsi brothers, but at the same time, he reveals the plan, and we got bamboozled, and the other Orsi brother has got the Apple of Eden, which is not good. And so once we rescue the children, we head straight back to the citadel, and so we chase after him into the mountains. Once we get him, we have a little conversation, but then he does a little maneuver and stabs me in the kidney, and so now I'm bleeding out while this black robe monk appears on over and takes the apple. Fuck! And so then we wake up with a manly stubble, like, god damn, my man Ezio has grown up. Put it has Catalina. She gives us a map for all the codex pages, and so now we need to find that black robe monk. And so we keep searching. We search the abbey first, beat up some guards, help the monk out, tell us absolutely nothing. And then we head to another church area, and they are all afraid of me because I killed that one guy back in sequence 4. Yeah, sequence 4. And so they all run away, and I have to catch him now. And luckily, with my quick reflexes, I managed to catch him way before he even runs. And once again, we somehow teleport. How? I have no clue. And so we question the monk, and apparently he's in Firenze. So we head there, and that is the end of sequence 12. Just as we start sequence 13, we are put into Florence, where we need to meet Niccolo Machiavelli at the bridge. Once we reach Niccolo Machiavelli, we see Florence in absolute shambles. Guards fighting everyone. Just, bloody hell, man. Something's going on here. Just as I follow Machiavelli, some sick parkour skills on the way. And once we make it somewhere, we discuss with Machiavelli what we're going to do to try to restore Florence to its former glory. And so Ezio suggested we should use the people's minds. And yeah, I'm just going to skip over the lieutenants. Once we kill all the lieutenants, comes out of hiding, and every person in Florence absolutely hates him and sending them death threats by the minute. And so they all grab him, and he fucking drops the Apple of Eden, and then some random guy just comes up and picks up of it. Not my watch. And so, as I tried to tackle the guard as many times as I could, nothing worked. I had to kill him. Once again. Why did you do something? Why did you do this to me? Why did you do this to me? Fucks! And so, we see Salvanella almost getting burnt alive. Once Ezio drops Salvanella and he burns, we do an amazing speech about how fairies are bad and you should not do drugs. And then we leave. And so then we head to Machiavelli and the others, and that is the end of sequence 13. Just as we start sequence 14, we are put on the path to Monteriggioni. And so we head to the villa and talk to what the fuck you mean I can't piss? So I can't access his memory yet because I still haven't collected my codex pages. And so after wasting 3 hours of my life gathering these codex pages, I finally make it back to the villa. I also decided to collect all the seals to get this magnificent piece of armor given us by our former main character, Altair. Once we acquire this magnificent armor piece, and so we head towards our uncle, and we put all the codex pages in places. We use our eagle vision and find the map on where this vault was going to be, and it's none other than Roma. So that's where we head. And so now, all we have to do now is just enter the Vatican to assassinate Rodrigo Borgia. I mean, there were some guards along the way, but we managed to do it. But sadly, when I got to the last kind of gate, there was a guard right in front of the lever, which I needed to pull in order to get to the next area. And sadly, this guard did not move at all. So I tried everything. I tried to use smoke bombs, but then the crowd would just disappear, which is really annoying. Then I couldn't crowd blend. And I know I have the option to, but kill him. Oh, fuck. So once we sadly kill this dude, however, luckily, these guys were facing the opposite way of the lever, so I could pull the lever with no problem. And so, we face off against Rodrigo Borgia. We assassinate him. I mean, he should be dead by this point, but I think maybe like the staff is keeping him alive, maybe, I don't know. We have this great boss battle with Rodrigo with a bunch of other Ezios, and then we get stabbed, but we're magically just fine. Cheers, Ubisoft. And so now we have to run away into the vault, but then we see Rodrigo Borgia, he's just having a tantrum because he can't open the vault. And so we pop in, and we try to, good old knuckle-to-knuckle fist fight. So I come out on top, I open the vault, some magical shit happens, blah blah blah. And then we return to the modern day, where we are apparently compromised and the Templars are here. Oh no. Once we head down into the warehouse, Roaring my bard. Roaring appears, it's telling us to surrender, but like the alpha male we are, we do not surrender, and instead, we fight. After we beat up all the guards, we now head towards Roaring. So just like we head to Roaring, he disappears on us, and now we also disappear. And so that ends the run. Now, can you beat Assassin's Creed 2 by being a pacifist? Hell no. We ended off the run with 5 kills. I mean, it's definitely way better than AC1, that's for sure, which we ended up with 46, but oh well, we moved. And so, if you did enjoy this video, I'd recommend checking out my other videos, and I'm not going to keep you there for long. If you did enjoy this, remember, like, subscribe, share, really appreciate it. It will help me out a lot. And yeah, I'll see you fellow assassins later. Peace out.